Javik is a web-based service for securely exchanging files. When you sign up, you get a password-protected web portal for storing and exchanging files and comments with others, which will look like this. Within Javik, files are stored in buckets or events. Buckets are pages in your portal with places for exchanging files and comments with others, and they can be accessed by invitation only. You can see all of the buckets you have access to under your Buckets tab, which will highlight in red buckets that have changed since you last viewed them. Files are stored on the left, the right holds a description of the bucket, and the bottom holds a comment thread for you and the other users of the bucket. If a user wants to add a file, they click the button under Assets. Once your file is uploaded, it will show up under Assets. In addition, all users who have access to this bucket will be notified by email that you have just updated the bucket. The same goes for any edits to the bucket. When someone adds a comment, a file, or edits the bucket information, everyone who belongs to the bucket is notified. You can control what each user is able to do in a bucket. Every user can add assets and comments, but you can limit which users have the ability to edit bucket details, invite other users to a bucket, or add resources. Resources are generic files you would like to reuse over and over, while assets are files that are only relevant to a single bucket. For instance, if you have a brochure or form template that you share with many people, you would upload it to your portal as a resource. It can then be assigned to many buckets at once, allowing you to share it over and over. If a user does not have permission to do something, they won't see the button for doing it. For instance, a basic guest user can only upload assets and write comments, so they would not see the buttons for adding resources, editing the bucket, or inviting users. The main feature of Javik is sharing files. To download a file, you and other users just click the file name in the lists under Assets and Resources. However, there may be times when you want to share or accept a file from someone, but you don't want to set up a user account for them. To send a file to someone without a user account, check the box next to the file and click the Email button. Once you enter their email address, they will receive a download link for the file. To keep your files secure, the download link sent in the email can only be used once, expires after 48 hours, and uses an encrypted SSL connection. If you need someone without a user account to send you a file, you can embed an upload form on your own website. Anyone can use this form to upload a file to your portal without logging in. Files will automatically be sorted into buckets using the email address entered in the form. For example, if johndoe@gmail.com uploads a file through the form you embedded on your website, Javik will create a bucket called Public Bucket for John Doe, add the email address to the bucket description, and add the file to the bucket as an asset. From this point on, any files uploaded through your embedded form by johndoe@gmail.com will be placed in this bucket as an asset. Whenever a file is uploaded with an embedded form, you will receive an email notice with the person's name and email address, along with the name and size of the file they uploaded. In addition to buckets, files can also be stored in events. Events are like buckets, but they are connected to a deadline. So in addition to sending update notices whenever a file is added or a change is made, events can also send out automated deadline reminders. Your event list is just like the bucket list, but it also shows the deadline of each event. Event pages are just like buckets, but they have an additional feature allowing admins to set a renewal schedule for the event. For instance, if you have an event for a meeting that will be happening every week, you can set the event to renew itself on a weekly basis. When an event renews, it will create a copy of itself, setting the copy's deadline to the appropriate date in the future. The users, resources, and event details will be carried over to the copied event, but the comments and assets will not, so event users have fresh space for a new discussion and sharing new files relevant to the new deadline. The other videos and articles on this page will show you about detailed features such as managing user accounts, creating events in bulk, assigning resources in bulk, and adding your own logo to your portal website. To finish, I'll demonstrate the sign-up process, which only takes half a minute and requires no commitment. First, you pick what URL you would like for your portal. I'm going to create a portal for a company called Acme Brick. You can choose to create a free personal subscription, which has limited storage space, or one of the paid subscriptions. Once you fill out the rest of the information and submit the form, your portal will be ready for use instantly. You will also receive an email welcoming you to Javik and reminding you how to access your new portal. That's all there is to it. You can immediately log in with the email address and password you just entered in the sign-up form. If you have any questions, please check the other articles or email us at support@javik.com.